Hello everyone, DCB here, and welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine model build. In this one, I'm going to be building a Primaris Aggressor. I'm only going to be building one model from this box. I'll do the painting of it off screen because it's going to be in the colours of my own chapter, the Avenging Angels. But basically, I'll show you what it looks like to build one of these models, how to tell the numbers on the sprues, and sort of put it together for you. It'll be the one with the bolt stump gauntlets and the missile pod, rather than the flamestorm gauntlets, because that's the one that I want to do. And say it'll just be one model, and it'll be painted in the colours of my own chapter, the Avenging Angels. Now let's get this out of the box and show you how it's done. So, getting them out of the box like so. You have the instruction manual, some transfers which I won't be using, which are ultramarine ones. There will be a third base in there as well, but there's your two sprues. Let me just get the third base out of the box. It's really stuck in there at the back. There it is. Of course, there's your sprues, so to speak. And here's the instruction manual for the auto bolt gun gauntlet ones. Inside you'll find the instructions as so. Let's move all these bases out of the way. So each bit of the instructions has a number next to the part, and on the sprue here you will see that there are numbers next to parts. For example, that one there is number 1. Normally it's to the left or right hand side. Sometimes it can be very confusing to see which one is which. Like there. And you would have to make a decision of which one looks the most like the part shown. Carefully cut out Z part. I'm going to go underneath for this example. Just obviously double checking and triple checking that I've got all the right ones. Underneath the sprue. It's not the easiest way to do it. Normally I go over the top, but as I'm sort of showing you how to do it, I'm going underneath. Put the head there. Then go for the body. There's the bits that are needed. Just again, being careful not to cut into the actual body itself. Okay. Put that to the side. Put those to the sides. Now to zoom in. This next bit is the mold line removing. So on each of these pieces there are extra bits which are not necessarily part of the model, which is where this mold line removal tool comes into. So you see these bits here that are sticking up. Those are not parts, so just gently scrape away with the mold line remover. Also, if there's any parts like that which are from the pins where it was holding the sprue, just simply scrape them off like that, making the sides nice and smooth. Not only does this help with your painting, but also for gluing any bits as well. There's also these lines on the legs which aren't supposed to be there. That's from the mold lines. Also these bits underneath here. Even though they're not going to be seen, it's good to give them a clean so they have a better fit for when you glue other parts of the model to this bit. Makes the fit a lot more neater, a lot more snug, so to speak. Go over the model completely. There's another little bit of a mold line. It's just gentle bit of removal. Brush off the excess, give it a blow down, and make sure there's none of that there. Same with the head. So you see at the top there, where it was sort of really clipped into the sprue. That good little fire down the edges. Get all that unnecessary stuff off. Gently around the edge here. get rid of those lines. You can see the line quite there. That's the mold line. Take that off with this mold line remover. There we are. Obviously I need to give this a little bit of a blow, a little bit of a wash to make sure there's no loose bits of plastic for when I glue it. Underneath the head there, on the other side as well. There we are. So yeah, that's the mold line removing. Also a bit on the bottom bit there, once again, to make sure that when I go to stick it together, that the head and body fit together very snugly. Use a little bit of plastic glue with the metal nozzle attached. This metal nozzle helps you do small dabs of plastic glue like that into small areas without you overdoing the plastic glue, which can cause excess melting and issues with your model, because that's what the plastic glue does. It melts the plastic together. So we're going to let that dry now, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the rest of the model, which I'll show you on screen, but that will be time-lapsed. I'm going to give you a bit of the lore about the Space Marine Aggressors. So I hope that you enjoy the rest of this video. Burn the heretic from his lair, put the torch to his foul ideas, and cast all that he treasures into the flames. Only then, when he realizes the true cost of his purity, grant unto him the oblivion he deserves. From the Aggressor, Xanthon Toil. An aggressor, who is usually a member of an aggressor squad, is an Astartes fire support specialist, equipped to formations of Primaris Space Marines. Aggressors are tasked with close-ranged fire support and have been outfitted with modified suits of Mark X Grievous power armor, refitted to carry a shoulder-mounted Flagstorm grenade launcher. They also wield Flamestorm gauntlets that unleash blazing steams of promethium upon any foe that gets in too close, or can be unleashed into wide mobs of enemies and unleash an inferno that burns them all to ash. The Space Marines in a chapter's fire support squad have a vital role, for they provide covering fire to their battle line and close support brethren. This could be in the form of assassination of a prime target, counter battle volleys, or the destruction of enemy armor. By their targeted selection and their marksmanship, the timely application of firepower, are countless battles won. Clad in heavy Mark X Grievous battleplate, aggressor squads advance upon the foe as a walking fortress of cement armor. Each member is equipped with a pair of Boltstorm gauntlets, meaning an aggressor squad can lay down a hail of bolt fire. Arrayed by black-mounted grenade launchers, an aggressor squad can wade into oncoming enemies, mowing a bloody path through even the largest of hordes. Should a foe actually have enough bodies to sacrifice so that the living members can finally reach the source of the onslaught, they are met by Space Marines swinging paired power fists. Very few live to tell the tale. More mobile than the heavily armoured Centurions, due to their sophisticated Grievous armor, aggressors are better able to negotiate rough ground. This makes them a more versatile troop choice. While they are often employed in specific circumstances or uncertain terrain, aggressor squads are also used as a reserve to plug breaches in the gun line or to spearhead an advance. In defensive arrangements, such as with a hive city or under the canopy of a forest arena, Devastator squads would find the long-range weapons of very little value. Such terrain suits aggressor squads to the T, however, as they are preferably suited to firing on the move. Their ranged weaponry is not long, but when they get close enough to open fire, the result is a sweeping fuselage of large carbine bolter shells that can shatter an enemy's charge. For especially dense terrain, or when facing foes that cover the ground in great numbers, aggressor squads will wield pair flamestorm gauntlets. When equipped this way, their armor raises shoulder guards protect them against the inevitable flame backwash. As they stride forwards, their arms shredding sweeping arcs of fire blaring out. Fire flickers like a hellish wraith around their armor as the aggressor squads advance, the weapon barrels glowing like embers in the smoldering gloom. Orc hordes and Tyranid swarms alike are incinerated. Their brittle and blackened bones crackle to dust underneath the tread of the aggressors as they march straight forward into where the fighting is thickest. Some have said the aggressors live for such moments and dwell over long upon them. Since being introduced into the Ultra founding and Robert Gilliam's reworking of the Codex Astartes after his resurrection in 999.M41, the aggressor squads have proven themselves as a devastating force many times over. The Iron Hands quickly converted after they witnessed an aggressor squad attached to their second company wade into a sea of greenskins, their blazing guns stitching patterns of death that riddled mob after mob with fist-sized holes. The Black Templars, ever eager to advance upon the foe rather than sit back and shoot, have had great success fielding aggressor squads alongside their Crusader squads. No chapter has made better use of aggressor squads than the Salamanders. On the battlefield of Tazar, it was an aggressor squad that ensured Captain Thrassen did not meet his end at the axe blade of Kerkassa in the Primeheim of Orgrach. It was the 3rd Company's aggressor squad that pinned their flames against the blue fire of Zinch's horrors, allowing the planetary governor and his council to escape to safety. Like the feeble creatures after which the salamanders are named, the aggressor squads of the salamanders emerged out of their own fire, their weapons, armor, and red eyes glowing bright. One squad assigned to the 3rd Company, the Pyrocasts, has already earned the squad's honorific name in the fires of war. While combating the Orc War of Warlord Garklak, this aggressor squad used their flamestorm gauntlets to ignite the entire mob of unquestioned orcs. The greenscreen's clued flamethrowers could not stand the heat, and their tanks of Prometheum exploded in a proliferation that spread across the battlefield, engulfing orcs by the hundreds. In the gloom beneath that mushroom cloud, the ash fell like black blizzards. But emerging from that hell, still wreathed in flame, were the Pyrocrast aggressor squad. In the wake of their victory, the squad were rechristened the Infernal. Yes. Yes, they are quite awesome, aren't they? And there we have the Primaris Aggressor Space Marine, all built, painted, and ready for combat. As you can see, I have done all the bits off camera painted wise, the black cables for the coolant, the gauntlets, the guns, the armor, the little missiles, all in the colours of the Avenging Angels chapter. I hope that you've enjoyed this building tutorial video with the lore of the model as well. As always, if you enjoy what you see, please do leave a like, and any comments you have about how to improve the videos, I'll do my best to do that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and until next one, this is DCB for the Emperor.